You're listening to The Lost Cabin Lodge from Brown County, Indiana. And now your host, Frank Jones.
Hey, you made it. Good to have you with us at the Lost Cabin Lodge. Now hop the creek and be careful. The rocks are kind of slippery. Come on up the hill. You know, you found it. You're at the Lost Cabin Lodge, and we're glad to have you. Just find a spot on the front porch and have a seat. Well, howdy, everybody, and Happy New Year. I'm Frank Jones.
And I'm Tracy Sheets.
Welcome to the first edition of the Lost Cabin Lodge. We're here to provide a format to showcase what musicians are doing in southern Indiana and in the surrounding states.
Today's featured musicians include Larry McDonald and John Whitcomb, all from South Central Indiana. Lost Cabin Lodge is currently seeking musicians to be featured on the show.
If you're interested, send a CD of your material to the Little Nashville Recording Studio, P.O. Box 2042, Nashville, Indiana 47448. Or go to lostcabinlodge.com for details.
If you plan on using snail mail, remember there are days this month where the post office will be closed.
That's right. Folks, when you're headed to beautiful Nashville, Indiana, we have some places you just might want to visit. These companies represent the founding contributors to the Lost Cabin Lodge.
The Bear Wallow Distillery, located in Narbonne, Indiana. They use locally grown grains to produce their unique Indiana spirits. Bear Wallow Distillery is having their first bourbon experience of the new year on January 13th from 6 to 9 p.m. Be sure to stop by or visit them online at bearwallowdistillery.com.
And secondly, we have the Brown County Inn. It's the place to stay when you're in Brown County. It offers ballrooms and rooms for special events, an incredible kitchen, and the most entertaining lounge in the county, the Corn Crib Lounge.
Another wonderful stop to make in beautiful Nashville is the Caramel Corn Cottage, making ordinary popcorn extraordinary since 1978. You can even place orders online at caramelcorncottage.com.
And last but not least, it's Mike's Dance Barn, where on Monday you can find some wonderful dance lessons. They have live music Saturday from 8 to 11. The doors open at 6 p.m. And you can dance with Billy from 6 to 8.
Bear Wallow Distillery, right here in southern Indiana.
Bear Wallow Distillery is one of the first craft distilleries in Indiana. We use only locally grown grains to make spirits in an old-fashioned copper pot kettle. Next time you're headed to Nashville, stop in and take a tour. We're located 5 miles east of Nashville on Old State Road 46. Bear Wallow Distillery, Narbonne, Indiana. Call us at 812-657-4923.
Caramel Corn Cottage.
Stop in the Caramel Corn Cottage at 82 North Van Buren Street in Nashville, Indiana. Try their sweet treats and flavored popcorn made from scratch in their big copper kettle. Caramel Corn Cottage is open 7 days a week from 10 to 5, or go online, caramelcorncottage.com, or call 1-812-988-6011. And remember,
Buy 2 bags for the price of one and get the second one absolutely free.
I'm Frank Jones.
And I'm Tracy Sheets.
And you're listening to the Lost Cabin Lodge.
Mike's Music and Dance Barn.
When it's Saturday night in Brown County, folks all over southern Indiana head to Mike's Music and Dance Barn for fun for the entire family. It's been southern Indiana's line dancing music venue for over 20 years. So next time you're planning anything from a weekend getaway to a business retreat, call the Dance Barn for a list of accommodations available. 812-988-8636. Folks, if you're doing a 2-week vacation or an overnight getaway, you owe it to yourself to stay at the Brown County Inn in Nashville, Indiana. The Brown County Inn has great rooms, a fantastic restaurant, a year-round indoor-outdoor swimming pool, and live entertainment every weekend, all within walking distance of downtown Nashville. Look us up online or call 800-772-5249.
You're always welcome at the Brown County Inn.
Late last year, Frank had a chance to interview Larry McDonald when we were recording musicians at Mike's Music and Dance Barn in Nashville, Indiana. Let's listen in on how that interview went.
And welcome once again to the Lost Cabin Lodge. And we're here with Larry McDonald, and we're just getting ready to jump into some songs here. What do you have planned for us this afternoon, Larry?
The first thing I'd like to do is one of my favorite George Strait songs called One Night at a Time, and followed up probably by All My Exes Live in Texas, although one's still here in Indiana.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to that. We have a nice little group of folks here to perform these songs, and we'll go ahead and get on out of the way and let Larry take it away.
I'm not yours and baby, you're not mine. We've got something and it sure is fine. Let's take our love one night at a time. There's one thing and we both agree. I like you and baby you like me. Let's take our love one night at a time. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. Oh, I think about you all day long. Feels so good it can't be wrong. I got my fingers crossed that this goes on and on. Tomorrow, well, that's another day. Come on, baby, now what do you say? Let's take our love one night at a time. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. About you all day long. Feels so good it can't be wrong. I got my fingers crossed that this goes on and on. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. All night, love all night. Practice makes perfect, gotta get it right. Gotta get it right. One night at a time. Texas, and Texas is a place I dearly love to be, but Texas. And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. Rosanna down in Texarkana wanted me to push her broom. And sweet Eileen in Abilene, she thought that I hung the moon. And Allison in Galveston somehow lost her sanity. And Dimples, who now lives in Temple, got the law looking for me. All my exes live in Texas, and Texas is a place I dearly love to be. But all my exes live in Texas, and that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. I remember that old Frio River where I learned to swim. It brings to mind another time when I wore my welcome thin. By transcendental meditation, I go there each night. But I always come back to myself long before daylight. All my exes live in Texas, and Texas is a place I dearly love to be. But all my exes live in Texas, therefore I reside in Tennessee. Some folks think I'm hiding. It's been rumored that I died. I'm alive and well in Tennessee.
Just had a couple quick questions there for you, Larry, before we let you get away while we have you up on stage. How did you get started playing music?
I can thank my mother quite a bit for that, because we used to sing a lot at home and also in church and school activities. Then I started playing harmonica, migrated over to mandolin, to guitar, and always did love singing, and eventually wound up spending hits down in Nashville, Tennessee, and traveling with recording artists out of there.
Well, there you go. So you grew up with it pretty much, with that in mind. And who were some of your early musical influences that you would listen to as a young man?
One of my major influences was then and still is Ray Price. Also, Hank Williams had a tremendous influence, as well as Merle Haggard and some of the older traditional country artists that I grew up listening to.
Some of the greats. Truly some of the most inspired musicians around at that point. So that's a very wonderful thing. Well, we're as excited as we can be to have you with us today, and we appreciate the performance, and we wish you all the best. Do you have a website or anything that one might be able to get a hold of you for any songs or concerts?
The best way to get a hold of me or contact with me would be through lostcabinlodge.com, or look me up on Facebook at just Larry McDonald.
This is Frank Jones, and we'd like to say thank you very much to Larry McDonald for coming out and playing this evening.
Bear Wallow Distillery, right here in southern Indiana.
Bear Wallow Distillery is one of the first craft distilleries in Indiana. We use only locally grown grains to make spirits in an old-fashioned copper pot kettle. Next time you're headed to Nashville, stop in and take a tour. We're located 5 miles east of Nashville on Old State Road 46. Bear Wallow Distillery, Narbonne, Indiana. Call us at 812-657-4923.
Caramel Corn Cottage.
Stop in the Caramel Corn Cottage at 82 North Van Buren Street in Nashville, Indiana. Try their sweet treats and flavored popcorn made from scratch in their big copper kettle. Caramel Corn Cottage is open 7 days a week from 10 to 5, or go online, caramelcorncottage.com, or call 1-812-988-6011. And remember,
Buy 2 bags for the price of 1 and get the second one absolutely free.
Mike's Music and Dance Farm.
When it's Saturday night in Brown County, folks all over southern Indiana head to Mike's Music and Dance Barn for fun for the entire family. It's been southern Indiana's line dancing music venue for over 20 years. So next time you're planning anything from a weekend getaway to a business retreat, call the Dance Barn for a list of accommodations available. 812-988-8636. Folks, if you're doing a 2-week vacation or an overnight getaway, you owe it to yourself to stay at the Brown County Inn in Nashville, Indiana. The Brown County Inn has great rooms, a fantastic restaurant, a year-round indoor-outdoor swimming pool, and live entertainment every weekend, all within walking distance of downtown Nashville. Look us up online or call 800-772-5249.
You're always welcome at the Brown County Inn.
our own Tracy Sheets had the opportunity to sit down with John Whitcomb a couple weeks ago, and here's the interview.
First of all, welcome to Lost Cabin Lodge. We're very glad to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Where are you from, John?
I grew up in Seymour, Indiana, down Jackson County way. Grew up with 4 older sisters, if you can imagine that.
What inspired your interest to get into music?
I don't know, probably back to my sisters. They are all big music fans, and my mom and dad were music fans too. And the house was always just full of music. And between my parents and my sisters, bringing all kinds of different styles of music into the house. Of course, they liked live music. They hung around musicians, and then once that's can be viewed as maybe not good or bad, but yes, they had some nice friends that played music, and there was at the time was a really good and active live music scene in Seymour when I was a kid. So there was always somewhere to go. And then of course along came Johnny Cougar Mellencamp came on the scene, and he actually rented a house on my parents when I was 15 years old, and so all that was going on. His signing with MCA all happened while he was renting this house for my mom and dad. And so it was just a real buzz. It was just fun to be around and very encouraging and inspiring.
For those who aren't familiar with you, John, are you a vocalist, a musician vocalist? What do you do when you perform?
I sing, I play, and sometimes entertain.
And what instruments do you play?
Mainly guitar. But I have been fortunate enough to do some long stints on the bass guitar and play mandolin and harmonica as well. Yeah.
John, we have some of your songs and realized you're quite a rounded musician. You do classic, funk, and new country all very, very well. Let's hear one of your tracks.
Your soul.
Wow, John, that was fantastic. What was it that got you interested in the genre of the funk world?
Well, I'll tell you, as a kid growing up, started being naughty and listening to music after I was supposed to be in bed. I had a little transistor radio. I got two stations. I got the local WJCD station, and then I got Clear as a Bell, WLAC out of Nashville, Tennessee, and it was an R&B and funk station. Well, first I didn't get it at first, but then I kept, since that was all I could get. WJCD was terrible at the time, but the LAC was playing this great funk and stuff. So I just kept listening to it, and really started getting it, and really started getting into it. And I still love Gladys Knight and the OJs and the Spinners and all that great stuff, and actually began to recognize this one bass player, and it turned out it was Jamie Jamerson, who is the godfather of R&B and bass. Yeah, totally. And so I got into it that way, and just one of my sisters was a huge Sly and the Family Stone fan as well, so it just seemed natural. It just was a lot of fun to listen to and play.
Let's check out another track.
I long for an easy chair. I hear it's nice down there. Blue skies over me. I pine for a shady creek, for fishing and weaving dreams. Catfish on my line. Anyone can tell I'm in a shady creek state of mind. But a man's gotta earn his bread by the sweat of his brow. That awful truth that keeps me behind the plow. My hands are calloused, my feet a sore to tread, making my daily bread. Take it on, boy. But a man's gotta earn his bread by the sweat of his brow. That awful truth that keeps me behind the plow. My hands are calloused, my feet are sore to tread, making my daily bread. I dream of that pretty smile that is my love's, walking hand in hand. She's gonna marry me, one child, two child, maybe three grandkids on my knee. Anyone can see. Yeah, anyone can see. Anyone can see I'm in an easy chair state of mind.
Let's move over to the middle of the road, or new country, if you will, and listen to some of those style tracks.
When I opened up my heart and let in the autumn, dancing through its cool and powdered fields, where the setting sun halos the sparrow on the wire, and all the fields of green have turned brown. Deep inside my mind, I see you near the fire, feeling all the heat of summer's past, when our hearts were waiting and willing, climbing ever higher above the cliff, the shore, the rocky ground. Now the poets speak of love, and they speak of understanding, making up before you go to sleep. But when the sun is rising and your love's still a mystery, I figure I'm as lucky as can be. So now I leave this field with a better understanding. There's something about the stars in autumn skies. You feel as if you matter when you see them lightly scattered, and know that they'll be back tomorrow night. Opened up my heart and let in the autumn.
Let's check out another track.
Going down to my master's grave, there I plan to weep. Oh Lord, when I got there, still heard the joyful cries that said the master's resurrected and he did rise. Now that stone's been rolled away, rolled away, rolled away. That stone's been rolled away today. So the Holy Ghost I feel ever since that stone's been rolled away. Now all my life I've lived in misery and sin. Darkness has shrouded my dreams, sweet dreams. I heard the words of Jesus, I saw it night and day. My old stone's been rolled away. Now my stone's been rolled away, rolled away, rolled away. My stone's been rolled away today. So the Holy Ghost I feel ever since that stone's been rolled away. Roll on. Now if you've got the blues and don't know what to do, sit tight and listen to this song, sweet song. Trust in the Lord in every single way. Now your old stone will roll away. Now your stone will roll away, roll away, roll away. Your stone will roll away today. Oh Lord, I praise so the Holy Ghost I feel ever since that stone was rolled away. Ever since that stone's been rolled away. Ever since that stone's been rolled away.
Wow, that's fun to listen to. John, tell us where we can come see you play.
Sure. A chance for people to hear me will be on Local Live, WFHB, Wednesday, January 4th at 9:30, and that'll be fun. I've got a stellar little group lined up with that, with Carolyn Dutton on fiddle, and hoping to get Slats. I haven't heard back yet from Slats Plug, but some people that have played on my new album I have coming up. So that'll be good. I have a date at the Cabin with my blues band, Black and White Blues Band, and that'll be in February, third Friday in February. And also with the Rick Wilson Band in February, and the date is escaping me right now, but if they go to Rick Wilson's website, they can find the date on there.
If someone wants to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
And get a hold of me at Stardust 8-7 at hotmail.com, or look for me on reverbnation.com. I have a message board on there as well. And the Black and White Blues Band also has a Facebook site, and they can just type in Black and White Blues Band and contact us there as well.
Well, thank you, John, so much again for stopping by the Lost Cabin Lodge to speak with us and do an interview and share your wonderful music. We appreciate your input to the show and look forward to seeing you at future events. Thank you.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
a lot. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate the opportunity.
And from the hills of southern Indiana, we are proud to present the Lost Cabin Lodge Cooking Show starring Martina and Delaney. Both of these young aspiring chefs enjoy camping, horseback riding, and Barbies. Take it away, girls.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Lost Cabin Lodge Cooking Show. I'm Martina. And I'm Delaney. And we've got a great recipe for you. Today we are going to be making sausage doggies. This recipe makes 8 doggies. The ingredients we'll need for this recipe are 8 breakfast sausage links, 1 package of 8 crescent rolls, and 4 slices of processed cheese. Preheat oven to 350 degrees. Roll 1 sausage and 1/2 slice of cheese into 1 crescent roll, starting with the long end. Place on cooking sheets and bake at 350 degrees for 12 minutes or until golden brown. Let sit for a few minutes until cool enough to eat. Cheese will be hot. For this and other great recipes, go to lostcabinlodge.com. Bye-bye, everybody. Enjoy!
We at the Lost Cabin Lodge spend hours recording music, interviews, and commercials each month. One of the locations we record at is Mike's Music and Dance Barn. The barn hosts corporate events, weddings, ballroom, and line dancing on one of Indiana's largest hardwood dance floors. We got the owner, Mike Robertson, on the phone to fill us in on the barn's events. Hello, Mike. Tell us what's happening at the dance barn.
Well, right now I'm shut down for the winter. However, January 1st, it's a Sunday, about 4 p.m. It's my 20th year anniversary of the business. It's going to be an open house, jam session. All my music friends are going to come out and pick that want to. There'll be a free dinner while it lasts. And it'll probably go till 8 or 9, I'm guessing. So I've invited quite a few people to come out, so it should be a fun day.
Is there an admission charge?
Nope, no admission. Free to come in.
What else do you have coming up?
Well, then I'll open back up the second weekend in March. And April 1st is a fundraiser, and it will be a bluegrass show with several big-name acts coming in to perform. I've donated the place. The proceeds go to the victims of the Gatlinburg fires.
That sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
Hi, I'm John Whitcomb, and you're listening to The Lost Cabin Lodge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Recently, Frank had an opportunity to sit down with the owner and operator of the Bear Wallow Distillery. Her name is Susan Spagnola. And Frank, can you share what she had to tell about her business?
Well, Tracy, I'll tell you, that was one of the most enjoyable experiences for me because I grew up in this area and walked through Gnawbone many a morning and afternoon. And it's so nice to see such of a nice business as far as a cultural part of Brown County. This is our heritage, and it's in Gnawbone. When we first went up to the Bear Wallow Distillery there in Gnawbone, I spoke to one of the folks that was behind the counter, and I said, just to say the words Bear Wallow Distillery in Gnawbone, Indiana, is something that I'd like to do on the radio. And she just kind of smiled and pointed me towards the owner. But what a wonderful place. It's as far as the atmosphere, it's absolutely perfect for Gnawbone. It's probably close to it's close to what the original brewers, and I should say distillers in Brown County had in mind when they first started brewing their moonshine. I'm sure Alex Mullis would be very proud of the product that they're putting out.
Okay, so I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to make it to Bear Wallow yet. And so a lot of us are used to visiting wineries in the local area that serve local wines.
Right.
But to find a place that serves spirits and creates their own bourbon and moonshine, can you give us a better insight as to what they actually offer and what their array of drinks is available?
What stuck out in my mind was it's kind of like the same process for making a mojito, which is, of course, you go in, you have the spearmint leaves or whatever you're using, and the alcohol, excuse me, and it is exactly that, but it's done in a thread top ball jar with moonshine. I had one of them and had to stop because it was so good. If I continued with 2, I'd have had 7. It's that good. So I really enjoyed that. It was a different taste completely from what I had thought I was going to experience when I walked in the door, which to me is the sign of a really well thought out product.
Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Frank. And I will look forward to visiting their first bourbon experience of the new year. That will take place on January 13th, 2017 from 6 to 9 p.m. Okay, so now we'll turn it back over to Frank. He held a brief interview with Susan Spagnola from the distillery, and you will receive more information.
We're sitting here at the Bear Wallow Distillery with Susan Spagnola, the owner and manager of said establishment. Good afternoon, Susan.
Good afternoon, Frank.
We're really happy to be here, and we are sampling some of the product as we speak, so this is an interview that could take hours. And where did you grow up, Susan?
I grew up in Michigan, Port Huron, Michigan, but I haven't lived in Michigan since I graduated from college, but still a Midwest girl.
And how long have you been down here among the trees and the hill folk?
We have lived down here for 11 years.
That's great, and we're really glad to have you in Brown County, bringing this fine craft and trade to our already slightly intoxicated hills at times, but we're happy to have you, and you're a welcomed addition. What prompted you, or what was your inspiration to bring a distillery to us here?
Well, I was actually looking to start my own business after I raised my 3 sons, and just came up with this idea of opening a moonshine distillery in Brown County. Just because of the history that was kind of already here, I just thought it would be a perfect fit for Brown County.
Wonderful. That sounds like a nice plan of action. You folks are down here in Gnawbone, Indiana. What's your actual address?
4484 East Old State Road 46. You can see us from 46, but we're off a service road from 46.
You folks have a really nice setup here. Your product is incredible. As I said, we've sampled some of the shake-ups I think we had the mulberry. Oh my gosh, it was
made with gnawbone bourbon.
made with gnawbone bourbon, something you're going to be hearing more about as we go along. A beautifully aged product in barrels that come up from Louisville, all from local Indiana corn, and it is definitely a tribute to Hoosiers everywhere to come up with a product like this. Now, what are your plans for the immediate future? Do you have any upcoming events or specials?
We put on an event called the Bourbon Experience. We do that about once a quarter, and we're already sold out for our next one. We're doing it for, I know this is going to be later, but it's for Father's Day. It's a 3-hour event. It's more of a hands-on, experiential kind of experience where we taste out of the barrels. We might do some hand dip, waxing of the bottles, sample our products. I make lunch. Everything in the lunch has bourbon in it. From the baked beans to the applesauce to the pork sliders. Everything's better with bourbon, especially gnawbone bourbon.
That sounds incredibly good. Everything has bourbon in it. You had me at that. Okay, one thing I need to ask you real quick here, as far as your hours, what are your hours throughout the year?
Well, we are open year-round. In the winter, we are just open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But the rest of the year, March through December, we're open. And as of July 1st, we'll actually be open 7 days a week. So Monday through Sunday, typically 11 to 6.
I can honestly say this has been a wonderful experience, a great product, super good shake-ups, specials, the food, the drink. You can't go wrong. We're at the Bear Wallow Distillery in Gnawbone, Indiana. I don't think you can get much better than this. Come and see us soon. Thank you from the Lost Cabin Lodge.
By the way, my co-host Frank Jones also happens to be among the most talented artists in Southern Indiana. Here's a single by Frank Jones, appropriately entitled By the Way. Here's a song from Frank.
Sing a sweet lullaby, but it sounds like blues to me. Hear your voice by and by. You didn't leave many clues to see. I'm left standing by the way. Say you'd be back someday. The more I love you, the less I believe what you say. Oh, by the way, it's such a long ride to your farm. Thankful to sit down beneath this tree. Me walk on and on, count the cattails in the street, and I'm left standing by the way. You say you'd be back someday. The more I love you, the less I believe what you say. Sing a sweet lullaby, but it sounds like blues to me. Hear your voice by and by. You didn't leave many clues to see.
That was fabulous. Now, to prove that there is no such thing as too much of a good thing, here's a song written by Dickie Jones, performed by our co-host Frank Jones.
Well, it was just another night in the city, counting street lights and bar fights and signs saying, come on in. Well, my throat it grew dry and my eyes caught a peaceful cantina. And while crossing the street, something sweet drifted by in the wind. In a corner the table was empty and a candle was burning. I sat down and unwound to the sound of one lonely guitar. Ordered beer and she said, not here, man, we just got tequila. I said fine, and her eyes seemed to fly to the man at the bar. Well, it was just another night in the city, counting streetlights and bar fights and signs saying, come on in. Well, my throat had too dry and my eye caught a peaceful cantina. And while crossing the street, something sweet drifted by in the wind. Well, the hours flew by as I sat in that peaceful cantina. And I wondered why I ever thought that tequila was good. Said I'll never come back, and I laughed and ordered another. The guitar player smiled with his eyes, 'cause he knew that I would. 'Cause it was just another night in the city, counting streetlights and bar fights and signs saying, come on in. Well, my throat had grew dry and my eye caught a peaceful cantina. And while crossing the street, something sweet drifted by in the wind. Crossing the street, something sweet drifted by in the wind.
Was it just my imagination, or did Shady Creek and Letting in the Autumn from John Whitcomb have shades of Jimmy Buffett tones?
You know, that I kind of noticed a little bit of that. It's a real laid back sort of feel to it. And that's very much in the pocket. If you can achieve that groove, if you can hold that.
Okay, Frank. We just heard one of your songs entitled "By the Way," and I have to say this is a song that, on a lot of levels, I think a lot of people could really relate to.
Great.
Did I understand there were two lines? One was, the less I believe, the more you say. And later in another verse, it was, the less I believe what you say.
Yes.
What was your inspiration behind this song? Is there a story here that we need to know about?
Well, I guess to put it into perspective, the line is, the more I love you, the less I believe what you say. Which is kind of like one of those wonderfully toxic romances where you kind of know it's doomed from the very beginning, and it does a lot to bring that to light as far as kind of things that we all experience in people that, how shall I say this in a nice way, are not meant to be with us. Some people are, some people aren't. Some people get along, some people don't. But there are those people that you meet that are universally untrustworthy. So it's like, I think it's where they came up with the saying, I know you're lying because your mouth is moving, which is kind of like a takeoff of that for this song.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think we've all been in those.
Yeah.
Now, we have another song that we've been lucky enough to have you share with us. And what can you give us a little bit of foresight into what this song is about? And what
Oh,
the
yeah, that's one
inspiration
of my
was?
favorites. It's as many times that I've played out, I include a lot of my brother's material. And this is one of the songs he's written, Just Another Night in the City. And it has the feel of being a Marty Robbins-ish sort of gringo playing flamenco. So I enlisted the help of my friend Jeff Foster, and he came in and helped me with the style of guitar that I was looking for on that, which is pretty much up his alley. And it worked out really, really well. It came together in a really well-written song, so we had great material to start out with. And when I applied in the different layers of recordings, Doug Harden and I worked on this song quite a bit, that when we brought Jeff into the mix, we had already set the feel of the song, and him being a flamenco guitarist in his own right, he fell into the process quite handily, and we came up with this song. It's a really good tune, and it contains one of my favorite lines, which is, "And while crossing the street, something sweet drifted by in the wind," which I thought, boy, that just sets the scene, and it really gives a lot to help define the song.
Well, you mentioned somebody by the name of Jeff Foster, who absolutely is a very prominent figure in the musician industry here locally in Nashville.
Oh, you bet.
You've had the opportunity to work with him, and also I wanted to see what other local musicians you've had a chance to the opportunity to work with and have been inspired by.
Oh, sure, and and it goes back for decades. But most recent, I worked with Jeff for several years. He and I had a band together, and it was very, very gratifying for me. We had Carolyn Dutton, who is an incredible violin player, who sat in with me and Jeff on more than one occasion. Carolyn is an incredible musician in her own right, wonderfully trained musician, and played for a band called Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks. For about 2 years, I think, or 2.5 years, she played with them. And that was just the most recent. I mean, it goes back to guys like, on the first tune, by the way, I enlisted one of my oldest friends, one of my longtime friends, Robbie Bowden, to come in and play harmonica on that, because that was something that I heard Robbie's style of harmonica in this song and went, well, this is an easy fix. And as it turned out, it was. But it was with the help of a lot of my friends. I really have to give credit to Doug Harden in his ability to engineer and edit this material and help me out, because I was completely going in.
Hi, we're the Harris Sisters, and you're listening to the Lost Cabin Lodge here in Brown County, Indiana.
Welcome to the Brown County Inn.
Folks, if you're doing a 2-week vacation or an overnight getaway, you owe it to yourself to stay at the Brown County Inn in Nashville, Indiana. The Brown County Inn has great rooms, a fantastic restaurant, a year-round indoor-outdoor swimming pool, and live entertainment every weekend, all within walking distance of downtown Nashville. Look us up online or call 800-772-5249.
You're always welcome at the Brown County Inn. My
Mike's Music and Dance Barn.
When it's Saturday night in Brown County, folks all over southern Indiana head to Mike's Music and Dance Barn for fun for the entire family. It's been southern Indiana's line dancing music venue for over 20 years. So next time you're planning anything from a weekend getaway to a business retreat, call the Dance Barn for a list of accommodations available. 812-988-8636.
Lost Cabin Lodge is currently seeking musicians to be featured on the show.
If you're interested, send a CD of your material to the Little Nashville Recording Studio, P.O. Box 2042, Nashville, Indiana 47448, or go to lostcabinlodge.com for details.
Caramel Corn Cottage.
Stop in the Caramel Corn Cottage at 82 North Van Buren Street in Nashville, Indiana. Try their sweet treats and flavored popcorn made from scratch in their big copper kettle. Caramel Corn Cottage is open 7 days a week from 10 to 5, or go online, caramelcorncottage.com, or call 1-812-988-6011. And remember,
Buy 2 bags for the price of one and get the second one absolutely free.
Bear Wallow Distillery, right here in southern Indiana.
Bear Wallow Distillery is one of the first craft distilleries in Indiana. We use only locally grown grains to make spirits in an old-fashioned copper pot kettle. Next time you're headed to Nashville, stop in and take a tour. We're located 5 miles east of Nashville on Old State Road 46. Bear Wallow Distillery, Narbonne, Indiana. Call us at 812-657-4923.
Well, please remember, everyone, for booking and contact information for any of our artists that we've featured on the show, please go to lostcabinlodge.com, and we will forward your information.
we'd like to thank everyone for joining us at the Lost Cabin Lodge on our premiere edition of the show. It's meant a lot to us to have you folks joining us, and it's the fruition of a dream to have this show coming to you on the radio waves today. We sure would like to thank all of our guests who came onto the show today. That would be John Whitcomb. That'd be Larry McDonald. And, of course, yours truly, Frank Jones. I think I had a couple of them in there today. And we've got the folks that help make this show possible. That'd be Bear Wallow Distillery in Narbonne, Indiana, the Brown County Inn in beautiful downtown Nashville, as is the Caramel Corn Cottage. And we can't forget our friends at Mike's Dance Barn, just down at the bottom of Schooner Hill. We sure do appreciate all the folks that's helped out, all the folks that's donated and listened to the show, and we sure hope that you'll join us again on February 5th when we come into your cars and your homes the first Sunday of every month, and we sure appreciate you being here. And from all of us here at the Lost Cabin Lodge, this is Frank Jones.
This is Tracy Sheets.
See you soon. Take away the minute.